Hey guys, it's Monday night, Monday, August 11th, and I'm going to do a podcast, and I'm not going to promote this one at all. I'm going to just have it up for the people that follow this podcast, and I feel like I have a relationship with you, and so I've been wanting to do something like this, but I couldn't really figure out how to lay it out, and I think that when I see celebrities or I see people that have lots of money that deal with, issues that many of us deal with, I think that culturally, our society puts such an emphasis on what money does for you, So, there's Cribs, there's Housewives of Beverly Hills, and this and that. And there's so many shows that sort of highlight all of the things that money does for you or can do for you or does for a lifestyle. And nobody ever talks about the things that money can't do. All the things that it doesn't matter how much money you have and how big your house is and how many cars you have. The things that they can't do and why happiness is an inside job. And so I want to do this because it's really been on my mind, and I'm going to share some of my personal experiences. And I have, of course, my 5 points. So let's get into it. My first point is just to basically say what it does, what I believe it does. And we all know that this is always my opinion. Sometimes my opinion isn't popular, and I want you to know that I'm vulnerable enough to not only share my opinion, but to be wrong. So if there's ever something that's not that I may be ignorant about, I'm always open to learning. So what I believe it does, I believe that money provides you with peace of mind. It is a function of if you have money, you don't worry about things like your rent, you don't worry about things like mortgages. Your tires flat, you can all four tires flat, you can fix them. Your AC goes out and you own a home, you can fix it right away. Money, having a large amount of money allows you to have peace of mind to some extent, less stress when it comes to financial problems. That's it. So you think of all the buckets in life that we have, where there's dealing with children, dealing with family, dealing with our jobs, our personal responsibilities, and so on. Money can fill a couple of those buckets, but it fills fewer buckets than you probably think about. And that's what I want to talk about. And I've done a bunch of money podcasts where I talked about how, emotional we can be about money and how, I don't know that that's ever going to go away. We're always afraid to talk. We usually embellish what we have, or we're too ashamed. We allow people to shame us about what we don't have. And so, people who buy things that they can't afford. And I've told this story before about the girl in J. Crew who I just assumed the sweater couldn't have been more than $100. I'm like, this is J. Crew. Like the most it can be is like 160. And she rings me up and my total's like $500. I'm like, what did I get? And she says the sweater. And I'm like, oh, how much is it? She's like, $400. And I'm like, I don't want that. And so I felt shame. Like she was like, oh, you don't want this? And I'm like, no, I don't want it. And it's not, the old me may have gotten it just to prove a point. Yeah, okay, I can afford it. I can buy this. But you know what? I honestly don't think that there's anything, this sweater, I don't care who made it. It was not worth $400 to me. Whether I can afford it or not, it's like I don't buy $400 sweaters. I don't. Whether I can afford them or not. So, but there were times before I kind of changed my mindset that I would have just gotten it to prove a point. So those are the things that I think that it does. And I think that if you adjust your emotions, you are able to then live within your means and have less stress because you now are living in your means and you are less stressed about what you can and can't afford. Now, on to what I believe money doesn't do. Money doesn't repair broken relationships. If you have broken or weathered relationships with your family, parents, siblings, exes, whoever, there's no real amount of money that can really repair that. I think that, yeah, you can get some therapy and you can learn how to deal with the relationships, but I don't, it's not like there's a dollar amount that can fix things. When you look at relationships, I look at Oprah, I look at her relationship with her biological mother. It's so she rarely speaks about it, and then in the times that she does, it's like she has so much money, and it doesn't fix that. And Beyonce's father doesn't fix that. And I think that family things are just family things, and I am learning that they may not be things that are healed or they're fixed or they're repaired, but you can do your best to learn how to find your peace uh, in whatever the situation may be in your relationship. Um, Money doesn't bring people back. Like, money doesn't bring back people we really wish that we had in our lives. It doesn't, there's that ache that you feel from missing someone, they are deceased. There's no amount of money and nothing that you can do. There's no trip, there's no ultimate vacation, there's nothing that can really feel that pain. And so that's something that, I've learned and I've experienced. And even in some of the highest moments in my life, I still have dealt with a lot of the different things, pain that I have to deal with that nobody gets to skip. And if you haven't seen my 100 life goals video, I did it on New Year's Day, and I really dived deep into how I had convinced myself that all I needed to do was make money, and once I did that, everything that I thought was bad in my life would go away, and how I had this crazy breakdown and epiphany. And so if you just do that 100 life goals, I think it's on Vimeo, but if you just Google 100 life goals, the video is on there. I did one, and I think it'd be cool to watch. Um, Another thing that money doesn't do is it doesn't erase the things that you dislike about yourself, or you hate about yourself, or you are insecure about yourself. So if you didn't think that you were the best artist, or that you were the smartest, or that your feet look strange, or your neck was weird, or the scar on your shoulder is crazy, or your hair, money doesn't make you change your mind about that. It's like success in some ways validates us. So if you always believe that you were the best, hair braider, and you end up winning this large award, and you end up braiding hair for the biggest person in the world, it kind of validates what you think you know about yourself. But it doesn't, even in that validation, it doesn't work on the things that we struggle with. It doesn't work on the things that we still have to continue to work on ourselves. And that's why I think that, like, I think people wait on happiness, or they think that something will make it happen. And that's why I say it's an inside job, because, it's a daily thing. It's something that you have to work on, or think about, or work towards every day. And it's why I love affirmations. If you follow me, you'll see that I'm constantly posting affirmations, or tweeting affirmations, or things like that, because I am doing an inside job on my happiness. It's as much for me as it is for you. And I don't think that many people share that this is like, it's not something that happens and there's no end. There's no day that you're like, oh my God, it's over. It's kind of like, some days are better than others. Some years are better than others. And the hope is that you just progress over time. One thing that I love, and this is number 4, is that, understanding the fact that we're all humans. And I remember when I was younger, my dad, you look at a celebrity, or you look at someone, and my dad used to always say, and I'm sure your parents said it too, she still has to put her pants on one leg at a time like you do. And I think that we tend to look around at people, and we see the things that have happened in their life, and we kind of convince ourselves that their lives are better, or they are better based on the things that they have accomplished. But you have to remember, there are things like advantages. Some people, some groups, some setups are just more advantaged. Luck. There are some people who just so happen to get lucky. That is real. Like, they say luck is when opportunity is when luck and preparation meet. Like, there are some times when luck and preparation meet, and then that's opportunity. But real luck exists for people at times. And then there's just hard work. Like, if you don't want to bank on advantage, and if you can't bank on advantage, you don't want to wait on luck, and you just work your ass off. You know what I mean? And you're still human in doing that. And so no one is exempt from the feelings that you feel. I believe that everyone experiences heartbreak the same, or you feel deep, you feel hurt. No one, no matter how much money you have, is exempt from that. And my last point is to end this on a positive note, and it's, you define your version of success, not others, not magazines, not movies, not music videos. You know, being happy is the richest you can be, or being seriously committed to your happiness is the richest that you can be. And it's so easy to become consumed with the way people live and the things that people have, and feel like in some way they are better. And they are not better than you. This person is not better than you. This person may have had a greater advantage than you have. This person may be luckier than you. Or let's just face it, this person may work harder than you, but this person is not better than you. And a lot of times I tell people, if you could be completely honest with yourself, which so many of us don't want to be, how hard have you really worked to achieve your goals? What have you really put into yourself, or into your craft, or into what you want to do to achieve your goals? If you really haven't given 550%, how dare you compare yourself to someone who is? I don't think that it's not fair to you. It's like you can't really say that. And so I posted something, and I'm definitely going to just keep this here, is that I was like, a lot of people, many people are ready to respond, but everybody's not ready to have a conversation. And having a conversation is an exchange of ideas. And I think that so many people, we tend to get so consumed in tragedy, we tend to get so consumed with grieving that we don't think about potential fixes, or prevention. And so um, that's really all I wanted to say. And I hope that helps. Talk to you later. Bye.